never had one on before, but what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to post a video every week of us doing it in real time, so then you can copy it at home. We're not going to rush it and post every step all at once. We're going to do this together, so it'll be a couple of stages each week, so you're ready for when the band comes into place. Come on up.
We need to start off by building a lot of positivity around the muzzle. Whilst having the muzzle on show, I'd suggest using something your dog sees as high value and having fun with them. This will help them to understand that anytime they see the muzzle, they're about to have fun and be rewarded. Then I like to pay the dog for showing interest in the muzzle. I'm moving around and throwing the treat away because I want the dog to come back and target the muzzle. So to take this a step further, I'll place a treat inside the muzzle so the dog can see, and then I'll offer the muzzle to the dog. It's then up to the dog whether they place themselves inside the muzzle. There's no pressure to do this, it's totally the dog's choice. I'll keep moving around, and what I want to see is the dog following me because it wants the game to carry on.
There's a few simple steps there for you to follow to make this a positive thing for your dog. Watch out for next week's episode where we make it more progressive. Go on up. It's time for part 2 for our muzzle training series. Hopefully over this last week you made a lot of progress in making one of these positive for your dog. Here's part 2 for you guys as promised. Go on up.
In this next step, we'll offer the dog an empty muzzle, and when they choose to place themselves inside it, we'll pop a treat into the muzzle for them to have a positive experience. For each rep, I'll hide the muzzle and then offer it to the dog again. For the next step, what you won't be able to see here is I've got a handful of treats, and I want to build up the duration that my dog spends inside the muzzle. I like to cup the muzzle with a hand with the treats in so I can keep pushing them through, and use the other hand to show the dog affection.
So the 2 steps there that we've just gone through, I want you to practice them over this next week so we can keep making progress and keep making our dog comfortable wearing one of these. See you on the next one. It's time for week 3 of our muzzle training series. Hopefully, over the last couple of weeks, you've been putting plenty of practice into making this a positive thing for your dog, but we're ready to move on now. Watch this, guys.
Moving on to this step, we need to see that our dog stays inside the muzzle themselves so we can keep rewarding. This next step is where we introduce the strap that will hold the muzzle in place. Whilst the strap is touching the top of the dog's head and around the ears, it'll still be a positive experience. Moving on from there is where we'll start to fasten the strap together on the muzzle. This is where building up duration inside the muzzle will be really important from the previous steps. If your dog's not quite ready, then don't rush to this part.
Let us know in the comment section whether you've been following our muzzle training series, and let us know how you're getting on so far. Watch out for next week's episode. Come on up. If you've been following our muzzle training series and you've been going at the same pace as me and Ovi, then it's time for part 4, guys. Watch this. Come on up.
In the next step, I want to start to see the dog choosing to move freely towards the reward, building up time spent wearing the muzzle. To further aid us in building up time without asking for too much, I like to put a dog into a downstay where they can feel relaxed, and I can keep reinforcing the position with treats and physical touch whilst conditioning the muzzle further. I want this to lead to a bigger reward, so I'll undo the muzzle and bring a high value reward out to play before repeating the reps.
There's the next couple of steps I want you to take over this next week. Any questions, fire them away in the comment section or send me a direct message. Good luck and keep building positivity. Come on off. If you've been following our muzzle training series and you've been successful in the previous steps, here's the last one I want you to take before taking your dog out in public. Come on off.
In an environment where our dog feels comfortable, I want to now add the lead and get them doing a few simple obedience commands that they know. Set them up for plenty of success. If you've followed me through this muzzle training series, I hope you've put enough time into each step to make the muzzle a positive experience for your dog.
If you're now ready to take your dog out in public with a muzzle on, set your dog up for success. Don't throw them in at the deep end. Go to an environment that's quite quiet to begin with, and build it up to your normal environments over time. Good luck and let me know how you're getting on. Come on, Ov.